So I'm currently headed over to one of the Greek islands, but here at the Cesme seaport, there is this amazing huge castle known as the Çeşme Castle. It's an amazing structure built around the year 1500. I figured while I'm here, I'll put together a quick video to talk about some interesting facts of this amazing structure and its awesome history behind it. As the sun disappeared behind the hills of western Anatolia on the evening of July 6, 1770, the men anchored in the harbor of Cesme must have felt a sense of relief. Earlier battles with the Russian fleet had been costly, but now they rested beneath the protection of the harbor and the watchful walls of Cesme Castle. Hundreds of ships crowded the bay. Sailors tended to wounds, shared meals with their comrades, and prepared for another day at sea. For many of them, the worst seemed to be over. What they could not have known was that they were about to witness one of the greatest naval disasters in Ottoman history. As darkness settled across the water, Russian commanders began putting into motion a plan that depended not on superior numbers, but on fire. Some vessels packed with combustible materials were sent drifting toward the crowded Ottoman fleet. In the confusion of the night, there was little reason to suspect that these approaching ships posed any unusual threat. But when the first flames appeared, panic spread almost as quickly as the fire itself. These wooden ships were magnificent machines of war, but they shared a terrible weakness. They were built of timber, covered in tar, and rigged with sails that could burn like dry grass. Once the fire reached the fleet, it leapt from ship to ship with terrifying speed. What began as a single blaze soon became an inferno stretching across the harbor. Now imagine standing upon the walls of Cesme Castle that night. The darkness would have been shattered by towers of flames rising above the water. Explosions echoed across the bay as gunpowder magazines ignited within the burning vessels. The sea itself seemed to glow orange beneath the light of the fire. Sailors threw themselves into the water in desperate attempts to escape the flames, while others remained trapped aboard the ships that became floating furnaces. By the early hours of the morning, the harbor had been transformed into a scene of devastation. Much of the Ottoman fleet had been destroyed. Thousands of men were dead or missing. The water below the castle, which only hours earlier had been filled with warships preparing for the future, was now littered with wreckage and smoke. Today, visitors come to Cesme Castle and enjoy the peaceful beauty of the harbor below. Fishing boats drift across calm waters, and the catastrophe that unfolded here more than 2 centuries ago has long since faded from memory. Yet in that summer night in 1770, these walls overlooked a disaster so immense that it altered the balance of power in the eastern Mediterranean and ensured that the name of Cesme would be remembered far beyond the shores of Turkey. So this amazing and impressive castle was built specifically in the year 1508 by the Ottomans, and it was used as a stronghold or a fortress to protect from incoming ships over the sea here. It's an amazing example of medieval warfare, especially in the 16th century. Now, this is just an awesome structure. I'm really happy I decided to come here. I didn't plan to, had no intention, but I saw it across the bay, and so I decided to come by, and I am not disappointed. So if you're ever here in Çeşme, be sure to check this place out. It only cost me €6 to come in, which is like $7, $8 in US currency. Very much worth it, and an amazing structure. Now, these incredibly thick walls surrounding me are not just to stop gunfire or people getting in. It's actually designed to stop and withstand cannonballs coming in from the harbor on these ships that would have all of these cannons coming up against them. So these walls are extremely impressive.
So as I mentioned earlier, these walls were designed to withstand cannon fire, and you can see the extreme thickness of it. Just my arm doesn't even go halfway through this thick wall, protecting this whole entire seaport of this land here. It's absolutely mind-blowing and amazing to see this awesome structure in person. In the year 1770, this fortress also witnessed one of the worst Ottoman naval disasters in its history at the Battle of Çeşme, which is, again, another interesting story. I won't go into too much detail here, but it has a lot of amazing history to it. Another really interesting detail about this castle is the types of windows that they had in them. They were, of course, extremely small because the bigger the window, the easier the target is to be attacked. And so you've got these, again, very thick walls here. It's about my entire arm length into the gate here, that was, you can see, but the crack for which you can look through is extremely small. Very impressive to see the type of skill set that they would have had to make that, as well as looking through that for visual on the exterior portion. Now, this interesting basin type thing here, obviously it's a step down. It's got this large pillar in the middle, so it's a little bit perplexing about what it could be. From my little bit of research that I've done on it, and my guess is that this is very likely a water cistern or storage area where they can keep the water in this lower portion. This, of course, would help keep it cool inside this room, keep it fresher. It was easy access. So again, another really interesting detail about this castle. And even inside this castle are these different rooms that the museum here has dedicated to different archaeological collections, such as Roman glass or different coins and currency. So this particular room has the currency in it. The one that I just came out of has the different glasses, and then the other one has like lamps and pottery and things of that nature. But just imagine it. Imagine 500 years ago, standing in this very spot, one of the guards of this fortress, and looking out upon the sea, the ocean here, and just being able to defend your land and your country. It's really awesome to just try and put yourself in that historical location, in that place. It just blows my mind every time I see it. It's also very likely this castle had a moat surrounding it, which was very unusual and rare for castles that are on a port like this, but having that moat was just an extra layer of protection for this fortress. Again, just another interesting fact about this awesome structure. What else is another fascinating fact about this structure is that it blends Mediterranean style with Ottoman style, which was something that was really interesting and curious to me as I was walking through. Because I'm like, man, the style doesn't seem explicitly Ottoman. It definitely has that Greek type feel, that Mediterranean feel to it, which was, again, really cool. What's wild to think about, though, with this is imagining myself as an Ottoman soldier. If the battle's taking place and I'm wearing my armor, or I'm trying to carry my weapons up these things, I just have my small camera and my backpack, and I'm definitely working for it. Now, granted, the sun is not helping much, but the sun has been there, obviously, down in the 16th century, or back in the 16th century, so not unusual. Now, although it was very challenging climbing up this entire fortress, when you get to the top, it is mind-boggling because you have this amazing 360 view of the entire city and the entire Bay Area, which makes sense why they would choose to have this location for their fortress, to be able to get an awesome shot and protective view of this port here. Again, an awesome piece of history filled with really cool strategic military details. So I know this was more of just a spitting facts about this castle, some of the ones that I could research quickly. Like I said, on my trip here, I'm heading over to Greece, so I just had to put this together real quick. I didn't know that this was right next to the port because I was researching other portions of the country for my other videos I've been working on. but it's still a very impressive structure. I'm really glad I came. Of course, if you're in the area, only $6 or $7 to come in here. Definitely worth the price, but a lot of walking and a lot of climbing. If you find this type of content interesting, please consider subscribing. I've been working really hard to try and get some amazing videos out there and show the history of our amazing world. So if you find this type of content interesting, please consider subscribing to the channel. Check out my other long form videos. I cover a wide range of topics covering Bible manuscripts and liturgical writings, and yes, archaeological locations. So of course, check out the other videos. Thanks so much for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.